Hi, I'm Tara.
And I'm Misty.
And this is the
Handmade
Podcast. This is episode 3, and it is an all Doctor Who episode. We are so excited. Doctor Who is coming back August 23rd, and here in America. And we are going to talk about what we're working on, our favorite Doctor Who projects we've made, and the Doctor Who projects we have been wanting to make or just admiring. There's a whole thread in our Ravelry group, if you look up on Ravelry Handmade Podcast, about everybody else's favorite Doctor Who projects. We'd love to hear from you. Share your projects there. And why don't you tell us what you're working on this week?
I'm still working on my sock. There's not really much to show on this. It's still the plain vanilla sock, stripy, fish lips, kiss heel. So this is my sock that I'm working on.
And your sweater.
And I have, oh yes, I made some more progress on my hero cardigan sweater. I call everything cardigan. You guys will have to overlook me.
It's a
I'm really
pullover,
bad
right?
about that. It's a pullover. And I have gotten the teal strand work done, and I've just added in the navy back in. I'll show you the hem. You can see there's just a couple little dots of navy started back, and the hem of the sweater is stranded in navy, and so is the sleeves. And me being all matchy-matchy, I probably would have did the last color as navy, but I'm afraid I'm gonna run out of yarn, because in the picture it looked like this last color up at your neck had more than the other two colors, and so I was really just afraid that this would not be enough for what was left. And so I have this color to add on top of the navy after the navy's done. So that's kind of what my 3 colors will look like.
I love
think
it.
It'll be pretty.
That's so pretty.
And this yarn is Morocco Vintage, and their colorways are numbers, so we won't try and do that. And this is 52% acrylic, 40% wool, and 8% nylon.
Nice. And it feels great. It's so
It
squishy.
does. It's very soft, and it feels great. And I have knit another sweater out of this, and I had quite a bit left over, so I added some to it. And you can't really tell. I don't think you'd be able to see it on screen, but in person you can tell I alternated skeins, because even though it was the same color, it was quite a bit different. And so it turned out pretty good. I ran out of one of them, and you can't tell too bad. I don't think. There is a slight
I can kind of see,
you can kind of see
but
it.
I think that it makes the yarn looks like it's variegated.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not one of those things where there's such a line that you're going, oh, you know, it's really not so bad. I don't
Only
think
another
that-
knitter would even see
Yeah,
it.
right about right there. So this last little bit is just one, and the rest of it is alternated. So
Wow.
so yeah, I'm not upset about that at all. That'll be fine.
Awesome.
So it's going good, and I started my monster cow, and I have worked crazy on this week because I'm really enjoying the pattern. It's easy to do. It's mindless knitting with just a little bit something extra.
It's so pretty. So this is the crazy striped yarn she showed us last week.
This is the crazy striped yarn.
This is it in the skein, and this is
This
it
is-
knit up.
Yeah, there's the skein, and this right here up to this pink, this is all one color repeat. This is 18 different colors. I picked 9 main colors and did a fatter row with the main colors, and then mixed the 2 colors in between and did a skinnier row.
Show them the in-between colors. They're so pretty.
You see,
You can see that green in between.
the green in
and yellow.
between.
I love it
And
so
you can
much.
kinda see, and then it goes
And
to
that blue is
blues
my
and
most favorite blue.
purples, and there's a really good, just a couple little rows of the different color change. This is pink mixed with the purple. And I know pink really isn't a main color, but I had a dye that was just pink, and so it was
I
a
love
main
it.
color.
No, I think it needs to be a main color. It makes your rainbow more fun.
Yeah. So this is 100% superwash merino. It is soft and squishy.
So now explain to me how this works. It looks to me like you're knitting a scarf, but you keep calling it a cow.
It is a cow. You do a provisional cast on, and I chose to do one with spare
Cord.
And once it is knit the length you want it, it'll use 2 skeins. So this is
gonna
This
be really
right
long.
here, this is really long. This right here is 1/4 of the way done. So it'll be,
4 times that.
4 times that. And then you join it together.
Okay.
And you can loop it twice and it not be really tight.
Mm-hmm.
And this project, I was inspired to dye this yarn and knit it by Super Steph's Monster Cows. She did one with hand spun and it turned out so pretty. The stripes looked messy and I just really liked it. But for whatever reason, this is where my brain went. When I started trying to plan out stripes, I ended up with math. I couldn't bring myself to just throw it on there messily striped. It did not.
Yeah.
This is where my brain went. And so it ended up with a gradient stripe.
It's so beautiful.
Planned highly.
Highly planned.
Yeah, highly planned. And so I'm going to do some sock yarn. I see this in my future. I've got the sock yarn ordered and I can't wait to start measuring.
I want knee highs like this so much.
And so I
can't
think
even stand it.
I was considering, I don't know if I can do like one, I'll have to think about it a lot. I thought maybe I would do like one color repeat for one sock because that's a lot of,
Whoa.
Yeah. But it's like, I hate to not, like if you don't want your socks that high or something, you'll leave out some colors. So I thought maybe just repeat it as far as it wanted to repeat and then let it start over and then you can, cut it off however you want to.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably what I'll end up doing. But I'm thinking about also doing the twinsies skeins where
we talked about it last week, where you have they start and end at the same
They start
point.
and end at the same place, so that if you want your socks to match like that, they'll both start on pink, and you don't have to hunt it out for whenever you stop and waste yarn and all.
It was occurring to me that the other way you could do that is just to when you lay the yarn down to dye it, just make sure the end of the skein is in the same place on both of them. You know what I mean?
I thought about that, just starting the beginning and the end of the skein, kind of folding it in half almost, and dyeing it like that.
So a lot of times when you buy yarn, the end is on one side and the beginning is on the other. You could just pull that off and clip it so that it's starting here. But then that doesn't necessarily mean each sock is going to start at the same point. It's then the knitter's job to find the point in the repeat where they started. No, I guess they could knit from either end.
Yeah, if you knit from either end, if you do
socks on both ends.
Yeah.
So so that way.
So that you wouldn't have to split the skein, and they can still
right.
And then if they wanted to, do a different project than socks, which I'll offer some that's just without splitting it. But then if you wanted to do a different color than socks, it would go from the pink to the purple and then start at purple and go back down to pink. So that would be a different look too.
I love that.
It wouldn't start over at pink.
That's too much math for me. But I'm glad you are doing it. I'm glad that you can figure it out so that then I can buy your yarn and have it mathematically correct.
I just need to remember next time not to do math and dyeing in the same day because it makes my brain hurt a little too much for all that.
Exactly. You need to find a day when you're really well caffeinated, do all the math.
Yes.
And then another day do all the hard work.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the math is the hard work versus the dyeing.
Physical labor, I guess.
Yeah.
So what I'm working on are the Jaywalker socks. You saw them in episode 1. They had just been started. This is Socks That Rock in the punk rock colorway. I bought it way back in 2006, so who knows if they make it. It's Socks That Rock lightweight, I think this was called. It might be medium weight. I will link to it, my Ravelry page, where it tells you all the details. The pattern is Grumperina's Jaywalker socks, and this pattern came out on Ravelry. I call this project old school because the yarn is old, the pattern is old. It's some classic early 2000s knitting for you. Which just makes me feel old.
I bookmarked
Like
that
an old
pattern
knitter.
just last night. I was looking through somebody, I think it was somebody's favorites or cute stuff or something, and they had this bookmarked in rainbow.
Yeah, I mean this was crazy popular when I started knitting, and
I've attempted
it was
that.
on all the blogs. It was
I attempted that with that hateful bamboo yarn.
we talked
I had
about
to rip it out. This pattern doesn't offer a lot of ease to it, and so that on top of bamboo, it was not a win. So
yeah. So that's what I'm working on. But let me show you what I got that is new, which is also Misty's finished Oh no, did you take it over on your side?
Yeah, I have it here.
So you talk about it. This is Misty's finished object
Uh-oh.
this week. It's so cute. It's a project bag. I don't know. Can we say I commissioned it?
Yes.
I commissioned it. I
Yes,
said
I have a little bag that has this fabric, and she's like, do you have any more of that? I love it. And I had just a scrap, and I had enough to where I could make that strawberry front and center, and I'm actually a little jealous of this bag. It's just so cute. I found some pink stuff to go on the bottom, and I loved how that did, and I did a little, this is leftover from something else that I really liked, a bag that I made.
love.
And she had some strawberry fabric to go inside. I'll let you show.
And this is Heather Ross's from her Briar Rose collection. I'm gonna turn it inside out because
I
it's sewn so beautifully. She does such a beautiful job.
I ended up piecing the lining too because I changed my mind on the size and I'd already cut the lining. I said, yeah, I'll just piece the lining
Isn't
too.
that cute fabric? And
So-
then look, this is a pocket with the lettuce perfectly centered. I mean, is that not amazing? And this is the inside of the bag. And it has this great green zipper, and she does these pull at the end of the zipper, and a little loop for you to put your carabiner on, and a handle, which I can say I use my other project's handle all the time. I love it so much.
I'm glad you like it. I gotta get you a zipper pull. You have
I
to have
know.
a zipper pull.
Oh, I know. Well, so this is the little tab. Look at that perfectly centered strawberry. Is that not the
I
cutest
like the
thing?
details. So.
I love the details, and I'm so not a detail person in my own crafting that I admire them like so much more than you could even imagine. Misty's like, "Oh, it's not perfect." I'm like, "No, this is so much more perfect than anything I would ever make." This is why I don't sew like this, because I'm not a perfectionist. But it's perfect. It's centered. Look at that strawberry patch. I love it.
Yay, I'm glad you like it.
Thank you. And the other thing I got this week was spinning fiber, because I signed up for Spinzilla, which you should sign up for. We're going to have a whole episode and talk about it as it gets closer. It's in October. And then one of my students posted on our Instagram stream some new fiber, and I just said, I have to have that. It's Grace Shalom Hopkins. We will also link to her Etsy shop. Her business cards are just beautiful.
Isn't that pretty? I love the back of that.
And then this is the fiber. It's beautiful
gorgeous.
blues and
It's
purples and
soft.
pinks. I'm pretty sure it's Blue Face Luster, but I will link to what it is. I'm just so excited. It's so pretty. And yeah, and then I have another finished object to show. Did you have, oh no, we just did your bags.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're skipping all over in our notes. This,
That's okay.
because Doctor Who is coming back this Saturday, August 23rd, which probably by the time you watch this, it just happened last weekend. This is my Doctor Who TARDIS shawl. Can you see that there are
I
TARDISes
think
all
you've got
along
that
the
on
bottom?
the back. Turn it on. Is there a back in their front?
Yeah, no, this is the right side,
Okay.
because this is the pearl side.
Okay.
And the TARDIS stands out because it's in stocking knit stitch. It stands out better. Now, so I wear this constantly. I wear it just like I'm wearing it now, and I wear it all the time in cool weather. When I was in San Francisco, I wore it as a scarf, and then it also, what I like about it is it's wide enough to like wear as an actual shawl to cover your shoulders when you're cold. We just went out for our anniversary last week, and we were sitting in the restaurant, and it was chilly, so I had my little shawl on like an old lady. What I love about it, though, is that it's hidden. Like, if you are not a Whovian, you do not see the TARDIS. You just see a lady in a shawl.
Yeah.
But because of the color, and this is Mercedes Clark doesn't make yarn anymore, but when she did, this is a Sea Cell Merino blend, and I'll link to it. Her yarn company was Kitchen Sink Dye Works. Now she's a full-time designer, and she does amazing designs with interweave. And she made the yarn, and I loved the color. And then I saw this chart pattern for the TARDIS. I'm gonna like hold it up closer. So what I was gonna say though is, because I wear it all the time, it's stretched. It could be reblocked again, but I just wanted to wear it, so I never want to not be wearing it. Can you see that? Okay, that
Yeah.
TARDIS chart came from a knitty pattern called Bigger on the Inside. But I didn't actually knit that shawl. What I did was I started it because I had just previously made Color Affection right before I started this one. So I started it like a crescent-shaped shawl, like Color Affection, with just a few stitches, and then you increase on the edges every other row until it got big enough. I did my math wrong. I wanted to do 11 TARDISes, TARDIS, I don't know how you say the plural, right? I want to do 11 across it, but I did the math wrong, and I had enough stitches to do, I think, 13, which now makes the math correct, because now there's 13 doctors, but at the time, we were on Doctor 11, but now that there's like the War Doctor, and then the current Doctor, who I guess is Doctor 12, anyhow, that's the kind of geek I am. I wanted it to be right.
Well, see, I'm like brand new to Doctor Who. We just started watching it in the
really?
past like 6 months or something to a year.
Yeah.
So all of this is new to me, but I absolutely love it. My kids are insane about it. They love Doctor Who.
And how old are your kids?
9 and 11. I have boys.
They're the perfect age
They're
for
the
it.
perfect age for it. And their friend came over the other night. He had a sonic screwdriver.
Oh.
They went nuts. Andrew
Yes.
looked them up on the internet for hours. And so, yeah, that is their new, on their number one on the wish list right now is a sonic screwdriver.
I
they
love
were
it.
like crazy they couldn't have it right then, but the thing was $30. And so I didn't have $60 to fork over for
Right.
2 sonic screwdrivers
Right.
because one would just not do.
Right. Oh, no, you've got to get them each one.
Oh, yes.
So my little brothers are now 13 and 15? Anyhow, they're around that age. And they, we started watching The Doctor, Jay and I, maybe 2 years ago, and we introduced them to it like 6 months later. So for that Christmas, everything was Doctor Who. They got me a Doctor Who mug, which I'm sure I'll have in a future episode because I drink out of it every day. And Mom got them sonic screwdrivers, but like they also have ones at Books A Million that are keychains that are
Oh, yeah.
cheaper. And then Dylan has gotten shirts so that it looks like he's wearing the Doctor's outfit. So he has one from David Tennant's that looks like he's wearing like a brown overcoat and a vest, but
Oh,
it's a
love it.
t-shirt. You know, those like t-shirts that look like there's a picture of the suit on it. And then for his last birthday, for his 13th birthday, we got him the next Doctor, the 11th Doctor's t-shirt that makes him look like he's wearing the suit. And so they're totally geeked out over it. And yeah, there's so many good Doctor Who things you can
Oh,
get.
yeah. I saw some of the projects on Ravelry, and there's some that I just love. But, yeah, I was like, I cannot show my children these. Bake this.
Well, so what my brothers are obsessed with me making them is the amigurumi set of Doctors. I actually have a picture of it, of all of the Doctors and the TARDIS. It's a pattern
amazing.
set.
Go get
It's
the
so
picture
amazing.
'cause
Okay,
it's really amazing.
so you talk about your favorite Doctor
Yes.
Who projects, right?
I found one that I think I would like to make, and it is called, it is right here, and it was Twisted TARDIS or something like that. I'll have to get the name of it. But here is the picture.
Ooh.
Here is the picture. And I like that it had buttons. I like that it's kind of tall. It's a little cow.
And it's the lace pattern makes it look a little bit like a TARDIS, but
yeah,
it's not.
and it's kind of like Twisted TARDIS is what it was, I think was the name. But this is on Ravelry, and we'll have a link in our show notes. But I thought that was nice. I liked the like you said, you could wear it and everybody not be like, what a geek, you know. So it was a pretty. I love the TARDIS blue. It's pretty. I just like the pattern. I like the
Yeah.
buttons. I liked all of it.
I like
So
how subtle it is.
it's subtle. And
Yeah.
so yeah.
for sure.
That was one of my favorite ones that I found. And I want to find a good sock pattern that's like yours, that doesn't change color, but that still you can kind of see it in the socks.
Yeah. So this is the amigurumi set from
That's
Crafty
just
is Cool.
amazing.
She does amazing. She has a book actually that's like, it's called Knit Yourself. We'll have a link to it, where she teaches you how to make an amigurumi to look like anyone.
Wow.
And I have used one of her patterns to make the Wimpy Kids. Are your boys into the Wimpy Kid books?
Yeah.
So my brothers were totally into it a couple years ago, so I made them a Wimpy Kid.
Oh, wow.
And he's got too big of a head, so he kind of stands like the Wimpy Kid does with his little head over. But these are amazing. This is all of the Doctors and the TARDIS, and you can get the pattern for all of them, or you can buy them each individually. So this is on my, if I did this, I'd be the coolest sister ever.
Oh, yeah. I'm so not that cool. Sorry. Because I have made those little toys and I know just what goes into those. but
Yes.
no,
So my other favorite Doctor Who project, and this isn't knitting, this is quilting, and this is by St. Louis Folk Quilts.
That's just
We
amazing.
will link to it. It is David Tennant's face in a ginormous quilt. And if you haven't seen this yet, it's just super popular and amazing. You need to go to the website. Go to our website, Handmade Podcast, where we will link to it in the show notes, and click through and see it. She basically pixelized the picture and then did a chart to quilt from. And I think her blocks are 1 inch. And then she found all of the right color fabric. And when you put it all together, of course, you can see it. But up close, it's like you can't tell what it is, you know?
Yeah.
it's just totally amazing. She goes all through her process, so you can make your own if you wanted to. I saw someone else had not done a quilt, but had pixelated a picture of like Don Draper from Mad Men. So you could do whoever you're obsessed with a ginormous quilt of them. One of my favorite bloggers did Ron Swanson from Parks and Recreation. We'll have a link to that. So I love this idea of a pixelated quilt, but we were talking about perfectionism, and I think you have to be pretty darn perfectionisty to do that.
Straight for me to do, and I can't imagine trying to feed 1-inch squares through your machine. I mean,
I don't even know.
I just
There's a way to do it where you iron them onto fusible webbing, and then you stitch through that. So you iron on like 4 at a time. I don't know how to do it, but this is what I've read. So the other, and she talks about that. You should read that blog post. She gives massive details for how to do it well. This is my other favorite project. This TARDIS quilt. This is a cheater quilt where she bought the panel on Spoonflower. Somebody had designed it all one piece, but then she did massive amounts of quilting to do all the little Gallifreyan symbols on the door, and it's just beautiful. But it also shows you don't have to do 1-inch squares to have a Doctor Who quilt. You could do something a lot easier, but still completely beautiful. And her quilting doesn't seem like it would be that easy at all.
No.
And there's one other thing. There's a trilliumdesigns.blogspot.com did a Doctor Who quilt along, and she designed patterns, paper piecing patterns for a TARDIS, a sonic screwdriver, and so then she placed them all together as one quilt that had all these different Doctor Who images. But I was also thinking you could just do them as like a pot holder, just have a sonic screwdriver, or you could frame it like you have a piece of quilting over there framed. So, you've been working on a Doctor Who project, right?
Yes. With all this Doctor Who stuff, I just couldn't resist. I'm going to do a kit. And so, I'm going to have a project bag. I've ordered the fabric. It's really great. It is TARDISes flying in space, and there's some really great pops of color in it, like these great purples and stuff. Mm. And I really love the fabric. And so, I've got some of those ordered, and they'll be about this size. Mm. And this is my sock bag, just to kind of show you the contrast.
Yeah.
So it'll be this size, and they're very limited in quantity. I'm only going to do 9, and because this is I don't really have a shop yet.
I know. I've hassled her every week. She needs to open an Etsy shop,
and I've been working on it, but I've not gotten everything together yet. So I just couldn't resist to go ahead and do this though. I'm excited about Doctor Who. I found fabric I love. I've got stitch markers that are just amazing. There's going to be a set of stitch markers with it. There's like 15 of them, and they've got some really great ones.
And then there's the gas mask from the Scary Kid episode.
And there's a bow tie and
a teapot that says tea time. It's so cute.
There's the little clock, little stopwatch thing.
And did you show the TARDIS yet?
I haven't showed the TARDIS. And this one, unfortunately, when I ordered more of them, the TARDISes were bigger. So I probably will have those as like a zipper pull on the bag. But I'm thinking about seeing if I can get some of the smaller ones for the kit, because you just have to have a TARDIS stitch marker. I was very sad about
There's the
about that.
fob watch, which I didn't know that word until I watched Doctor Who, that he saves himself in. Have you guys seen that episode?
Yeah.
He puts his Time Lordy self in the pocket watch, and I love it so much. And that one's really tiny and adorable. Yeah. There's a star. There's all kinds of.
There's a heart.
And a rose.
Yeah, a rose.
A rose.
So yeah, there's going to be that. And then I think that I may, this is a color I've dyed before, and I think I may do it in this color. Some TARDIS blue yarn. And so it'll be a kit of those 3 items, the stitch markers, the bag, and the yarn. It'll be sock weight, merino nylon blend. I've already ordered the yarn.
Yay.
So yay, I might do some of those this week. But if you are interested, it'll be first come, first serve. We'll probably already have a post going in the forum, and just sign up there, and we'll have more details for you as they come.
Because you can put pictures of the fabric and pictures of those up even before the kit's totally ready, and that way you can claim it if you want it. And I want to claim one, but I'm so lucky. I'm here. I get to snag the project bags from her as soon as she makes them. Yes. But yeah, so go to our Ravelry group. It's Handmade Podcast. The links to everything we talked about, all of our favorite projects, the quilts, the patterns, this pattern, which everybody should make it bigger on the inside, scarf. Nobody ever said, hey, that's a TARDIS, until it's a Doctor Who fan. And I actually had, I think this is how me and my librarian bonded. She came up and said, is that a TARDIS? And I was like, can we be best friends? She also knits and quilts, so it was an immediate like.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, come to our website. That's what I was saying. handmadepodcast.com. We have links to everything, including the Ravelry group, and we'll even do a link directly to that forum post where you can claim your Misty Dot bag and charms and all that. So you can also subscribe on YouTube and iTunes, and now you can subscribe via email. I don't know if I told you this. It's on the sidebar of the website. Put in your email address. You will only ever receive emails when we have a new episode, so we will not otherwise be hassling you. Thank you so much for watching.
Yes, thanks for joining us.
And enjoy Doctor Who.
Yes,
Yay.
bye.
Bye.